Okay, welcome back to another training vlog. This is our quad night of week 8. So we got into a topic tonight of BMR and your body mass index, weight, calories, calculations, and online calculators and stuff like that. So I figured that was a pretty good topic to talk about tonight. So I think those online BMR things, they're helpful if you're kind of lost in the dark and not sure where to start at or where your calories need to be at. And I think that's an easy way to kind of get you where you need to be. So like if instead of just throwing darts at a random wall, hoping it to hit in the dark, you can kind of turn the lights on, see the dartboard, throw your dart and get it to stick at least somewhere in that dartboard. And it gives you close to where you need to be. I don't think it's going to be an exact. I still think that you're going to need to like manipulate it either up or down. And whenever you get the calories that recommends, you run that for a week or two. And if your body weight drops too fast, obviously you need to add some calories. And if it doesn't drop enough or at all, then obviously you should probably lower your calories some. And I think it's a good starting point, but I don't think that it's a dependable, reliable, like this is guaranteed to be ace in the hole, like type of deal, you know?
Yeah, I just was getting curious of what it would say if I were to check it. So I ended up Googling it today, like a BMR calculator, and it brings up all sorts of links and websites. So I went to multiple. I think I did like 6 or 7 different ones just to kind of see what they said, and each one gave a slightly different number, but each one also uses a different formula because I didn't know that there was so many different formulas from different studies, and it changed with how many people were involved with the study to make the formula that they used and so on and so forth. But for me, it gave me like a rough average number, like across all of the ones that I was looking at, between like 2,200 to 2,400 calories for like a base BMR, like a no activity level. If I just kind of sat on the couch all day, like my body would burn roughly around there. And what got me really curious was just me figuring out exactly what calorie intake I was doing prior to upping my food, and seeing that it was a lot lower than what I thought it was originally. And now that I've adjusted it up some, I still, like I said, even if the BMR isn't exactly right, which I doubt it is, I still have like a somewhat, like you were saying, a rough estimate of where my calories should be just to kind of even out. So I should still be dropping weight in a roughly like 2 pound-ish a week kind of range right now. And I'll see about that at the end of this week kind of thing. But like I said, it was just a curiosity for me, really.
Yeah, and I get that. And like I said, I think it's a good way for people to kind of get an idea of where to start if they have absolutely no idea where to start and they're kind of lost on it and stuff. But ultimately, I think the majority of people can probably start around 2,000 calories. And then from there, they can see what their weight does. And then they can see if it goes up or down or stays the same. And if it stays the same after about 2 weeks, it's like, okay, you need to lower it. If it goes down too much, then you need to up it. If it doesn't go down at all, you know. So if it goes up, obviously, if your weight goes up, then obviously you need to lower it. But 2,000, I really highly doubt anyone's going to gain any weight off of 2,000 calories. Most people are probably eating between like 2,800 to 4,500 calories a day, and they don't realize that. Most people are like, oh, I don't eat that much food, but they don't realize how calorie dense their food is, eating fried food and french fries and chips and sodas and soft drinks and cookies and candies and ice cream. Like people don't realize how many calories are in very little bit of food. I think like a corn dog has like 250 calories in one corn dog, and I could eat like 6 of those. And with like 2 Hot Pockets and 2 burritos, like that's easy calories to get down, but there's not a whole lot of nutrients in there. So I think a lot of people misjudge like how many calories. Like, I don't know well, okay, we'll use McDonald's because McDonald's is everywhere. Like McDonald's, a Big Mac has 550 calories. A large fry has 500 calories. So a Big Mac and a large fry is 1,050 calories right there, right out the gate. And that meal won't keep you full very long. And that's not a whole lot of food. A McDouble, I believe, has 480 calories in it. And that's not a big burger. I mean, that's a lot of calories for very little food. So in the grand scheme of things, I think most people overeat dramatically and they don't even realize how much they're overeating. But I think that's a good idea to get people in the ballpark range and kind of give them a direction of where to start. And then also people underestimate how much volume comes into like lower calorie foods, how much food you get out of lower calorie foods. Like I eat 2 pounds of red meat a day. The ground meat is 93.7 for the leanness. I eat 5 ounces of rice measured dry, which comes out to roughly 5, 6 ounces of rice over the course of 4 meals after it's already been cooked. And then I do 6 ounces of yogurt with some fruit for breakfast. And then I do a pound of eggs with vegetables for dinner. So, I mean, altogether, you're looking at almost 4 pounds, 5 pounds of food total for the day. I mean, and that's eating every 3 hours, 6 meals a day. And my calories are only 2,500 right now, 2,500 calories a day. And you could get that in one meal going to like Taco Bell or McDonald's or Whataburger, Jack in the Box, or any fast food restaurant. You could get that literally in one meal.
Yeah, because what like back in the day, we like a single Domino's pizza, like a medium pizza, was like 2,500 calories for the whole pizza.
Yeah.
And we could eat one in a single sitting. Like that would just be dinner.
Yeah, well, not to mention the crazy bread or the wings or the cheesy bread or the, all the other stuff, and then the soda, or for me, milk, and all the other stuff that we had on top of that. It's just, gaining weight is easy because there's a lot of calorically dense foods, but losing weight's a little bit more challenging. But if you change the kind of food that you're eating, you can get a lot of volume with food with very little calories. And like I said, I think those resting metabolic rates and active metabolic rate charts, they do some bit of good because, like I said, it helps the uneducated. But if you're going to go on this journey to lose weight, I think the best thing you could do is educate yourself. Like it's great getting advice from people who know more than you, and that's what they're there for. Personal trainers, gurus, just information channels or videos or articles, absolutely. But the main thing you need to do is you need to educate yourself. And the more educated you become, the more you can rely on your knowledge. And the longer you do this, the more experience you get, and the more you can fall back on your experiences with what foods work best for you, whether they upset your stomach, they keep you up at night, they sit well with you, they make you feel hungry, they make you feel bloated, and you'll have better experiences over time and understand what certain foods do to you and what they don't if you track them and pay attention and educate yourself on what kind of foods are what. And, I think that's going to be your best bet for long-term success and the cheapest way to do it, because you don't have to rely on paying someone to tell you what to do. And if you pay someone, that's great. Just pay attention to what they're telling you. So that way, whenever you don't use them, or you can't afford them no more, you just don't want to pay them no more, you already know what direction to go,
Yeah, but I guess that's also why like a lot of the more influential or I guess famous people for like bodybuilding, different things like that have courses that you can buy from them, or like training tips and stuff like that. Like they do increase the price because, as they say, like their time's expensive. If they're gonna waste, like if they're gonna take their time to give somebody instructions, whatever, they want somebody that's gonna fork out the money because they're more likely to follow the instructions, kind of thing.
Well, it's an investment.
Yeah.
It's an investment. You're buying an investment. If you get it for free, you're less likely to value it. But if you have to pay for it, now it's an investment and you're going to follow it.
Well, not even that. I mean, like some people can go to a big box gym kind of thing or whatever, and you can run into like that 18-year-old kid who just got a personal trainer's degree or something and is trying to give you all sorts of information, which like they might have some pretty legit information, but it's one of those things of people take that with like a grain of salt and just kind of like, how much do you really know?
Well, yeah, and that's the thing too. A lot of people, they discredit young people for not knowing or not having experience or being old enough. But I mean, to be truthful, you can learn a lot about fitness in a year. So if you turn 18, 19 years old and you get certified in personal training to help people, but you've been paying attention and studying since you've been 16, 17, 18 years old, and from 18 to 19 or 17 to 19 or 20, I mean, there's a lot of information you can learn in a very short amount of time. I mean, especially if you're going to school for it, or if you're going to seminars and you're paying for semesters and classes and you're learning about it, it doesn't take a whole lot. Now, for a personal experience, like you're going to have to like to be able to rehabilitate or help someone work through injuries or push through plateaus, you're going to have to experience plateaus yourself. You're going to have to experience injury yourself. You're going to have to experience coming over a hard time, whether it's injury or a plateau or fatigue or exhaustion or just burnt out or just no motivation or will, and learn how to get yourself through those moments and then you'll be able to really help people being able to experience it yourself and go through it. And I think that's why most people go for older, more experienced trainers, because they've been through it and they lived it and they know what's coming. Well, versus a younger person may not have experienced any of those things yet, and they may not know how to work you through it, or may not know how to navigate those waters. And they might, just think like, oh no, this is how you do it, and it's the only way to do it because this is the only way I know how to do it, because they don't have any other experience with anything else. And I think maybe that's where it comes in with the experience. But as far as it goes for knowledge, man, I don't think that an age has any weight on what you can learn for the body and what it's capable of doing. I think the experience and age comes with like going through difficult times and be able to get through those difficult times, like competing and achieving something and going to competitions and placing, or at least doing what your client is wanting to do, and being able to know how to make your client successful through personal experience of helping others and yourself accomplish those things.
Yeah, it's like one of those things of it's easier to take advice from somebody that's worked for it than somebody that just like they've always been that way. Like they just stayed that size or whatever and had like the abs and stuff, like they had that skinny fit kind of thing, and they've just been like that their whole life, so they have a decent physique wise kind of thing going, but they never really didn't put forth a whole lot of effort to get to it. So it makes it a lot more difficult to take advice from somebody like that, because they've never like they're missing that experience of like having to work to get it kind of thing. I think that's where some of the like the advice thing comes into play. So like for me, I take a lot of advice from you because you have done it for so long, and I've seen how you've gone from one side of the spectrum to the other over the years and multiple times. So like I've known you to put in that effort and that work to get to the points that you've been at in your life. So again, like a lot of the information I get does come from you, and then also like I'll take that information and I'll go like, okay, like I'll go look it up myself too, and just kind of learn more about it like from what I can, sort of thing. So yeah, it's just all on how the person wants to work around things.
Well, and that's the thing too. Like I tell everybody, never stop learning and never stop educating yourself. Like I know a lot, but I don't know everything, and there might be things that I missed or forgot or overlooked or didn't remember or whatever and stuff like that. So for you to take my word for it and then take that information, then go and research and look it up yourself is the best thing you could do for yourself, because there might be a missing piece of the puzzle that I forgot to mention or bring up or talk about or explain, or something that I forgot because it didn't work for me. So I just totally discarded that piece of information. So taking my information and then expanding on it that I give you is the best way to do it. And that's for anyone, and that's for everything, like there shouldn't be anything that anyone tells you that's so ingrained that's just like, oh no, this guy told me, so this is the only way it's possible because this one guy said it, and I want to believe this one guy and only this one guy. There's many different ways to get to the same, and there's many paths to the same place. So it's just a matter of what works for you. But I think that's going to be it for me. You got anything else?
I mean, yeah, I just like real quick, like I've always been like on the opposite side of the spectrum from you though. Like I know a lot, but I'm wrong about almost everything.
Yeah, I guess, that's true. I've known you for a long time, and you got your moments though. Even a blind squirrel can find a nut from time to time. You got your moments. So, but all right, well, that's going to be it for me, man. Is that it for you?
Yeah.
All right. Hey guys, appreciate y'all watching. Thanks for tuning in and checking us out. And just keep on keeping on. Stay positive and get in the gym and get your workouts in, get your food in, and make the most of every day. And just remember, when you're in the gym, no agony, no braggony.
Yep. Catch you later.